Futa bro made that post that day that what opinion of yours about Futa can get you in this condition. You know that guy with sword now on his neck.
Yeah.
It was 30 minutes after I dropped that post that I knew what I posted. The natural me would not make that post after that because with my extensive knowledge in public relations and promotions, I definitely would not make that error. I got a call. After Saamu, waiting this up. Go check this thing. I just picked my phone. And someone said, Saamu, don't fold though. Almost immediately as I posted that apology, I got a call from the school management, obviously. Yes, I was called. And to be very frank, the weirdest part that was not actually very weird to me was that it was a physical report from someone. Someone literally printed the tweet, took it down there.
Oh my God.
Yes, of course.
And please, can we meet you just briefly introduce yourself to the house?
Alright, so my parents named me Samuel Oyebode, but I prefer to be called Saamu Eleja. And what do? So I'm building a career in marketing for 4 years plus now. And then my place of strength has always been with startups and small businesses in the last 4 years. And if there's any other thing that I would like anybody to know about me is that I'm a Mario fan. I think that's enough.
Yeah. Yes. Welcome to the club.
Sorry, but that's not fun that you are viewing. You can get your greeting elsewhere.
Okay, so you are a graduate, right?
Yes, I just finished.
Okay, so you also mentioned that you've been building a marketing career for the past 4 years.
Yes.
And is your course for 5 years? I mean, was your course for 5 years?
Well, it's 5, fisheries and aquaculture.
Okay. Like, my question is, how were you able to balance your career path and academics together? I mean, was there a point where one had to stay out for the other, or is there one was suffering and one was flourishing?
Okay, so the idea is the word balance actually solves it all, because it's not as if there's an ideal way. It's not as if there's an ideal pattern that I use to balance the whole thing, but the balance just has to it just have to happen itself. So let me give an example. I actually became very serious with marketing in 2020 March. Then that was when I was in 300 level then before we went on for COVID-19 break. So before I went home, I was really into strong personal development. I was reading a lot of stuff. I was doing practice, but the learning theoretically was much more than the practice. So when I went home, I devoted a lot of my time to it. Getting back to school, the problem now was I now preferred to build my career in marketing than to read in school. Now, it's not as if I was not reading. At least, I even had more CGPA increase when we resumed after COVID-19. But the problem was, before that time, the love for book was more. But when I got back to school, the love for my marketing sheet, it was, do you get what I'm saying now? Yeah. It has increased. So the only way that I could have said I was able to strike a balance was because my CGPA was high and I did not want it to really go down. Or more eventually, the thing will go down. Make I no lie. At some point, it stopped increasing. Do you get? But so if there were going to be any way that I could say I was able to strike a balance, it was just that the fact that I did not want my CGPA to go below a particular standard. So anytime
I was moving closer to that.
This exam period, the bill I say this course, I'll never do anything. So I'll just take a pause on my business and get back to it. That's the best way I could answer that.
The marketing, the brand, the career thing is huge. I don't know a lot. So I just want to know, in the 4 years that you've been chasing this career, do you have people that are role models to you? People they influence you to do more in your career path? Okay,
there are a number of them actually, but I'll start by because I definitely have to appreciate this person. Some of them might know him, Olatunde Victor of Sales Plat and Extra Mile Africa back then. So I met him in 2019, and it was before I met him, I was doing a lot of stuff. Obviously, I definitely did not know what I was going to do. I sold earrings then, I sold clothes. I actually did a lot of stuff back then. Do you get? So when I met him, he was the one that suggested to me that with the kind of energy that I have been, trying to show around him, that I might flourish in sales and marketing. So he showed me to it, and then it was that gave me my first internship, proper training back then, 2020 March. So I appreciate Olatunde, and then till now, Olatunde is still someone that I look up to as far as learning sales. He sabi do that thing very well. He knows how to close his deal. He's very good in it. And then if there are any other persons that I look up to, currently, I cannot but mention Victor Fatomi of Fuga, for real.
Yeah.
Victor was so direct about a lot of things that it really helped me with last year. He was able to, stop me from making some couple of mistakes. And then, yes, of course, the brand that I'm building in PR and communication, Hype Empire, Victor was one of the guys that really showed me where we were supposed to face at some particular point in time, especially as regards the kind of content that we put outside there. And not just that, how do we get the business to continue to run? So I mentioned Victor, and yes, lastly I mentioned one more person. Like I can't remember the rest of them. He's not Nigerian. Seth Godin. Yes, I have to mention Seth Godin actually because I have not seen someone that is exactly as vast as he is in that marketing space. So if there's supposed to be like the peak of where I would like to be in marketing, I wish to be more than him. But at first, let me be at his level.
That's nice. That's cool. So like in your marketing career,
Yeah.
I mean, 4 years is a long time for a career. Maybe not a really long time, but for a student, 4 years is a long time. But like, I mean, you've learned huge and in myriads of things. I mean, you just said that Victor helped you stop making some mistakes. But along the line, before I came into the picture, I mean, you've definitely made some mistakes, right?
And I'm still making actually.
And I'm still making mistakes. I mean, mistakes are the ones that prevent us from making more mistakes in the future.
Yes, exactly.
Like, among the gains, the losses, the mistakes, the progress, the building blocks that you've been building for your career, what is your biggest lesson so far? That this lesson is the one thing maybe till you learn another bigger lesson, you are still holding on to.
Okay, am I permitted to mention two?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'll start from one. Now, this first one, it's about the losses actually, and the other one is going to cover 42. So the first one, losses, is about financial management. Mm-hmm. I mentioned something earlier that when I had jobs that I was so convenient, like I had access to nearly everything that I needed. I needed. I wouldn't use the word want. I wanted more. But the ones that I needed, gadgets, workspace, light, electricity, everything was available. But at that point, I did not quickly channel the funds that I was making to building a proper personal brand for myself. Now, for the kind of career that I'm building, you have different options of where to work. You can decide to work on contracted basis, monthly basis, where people are paying you on monthly basis. You can work for a specific period of time. Okay, guy, take this project for 3 months. Let's see what you can do. And outside that too, you can decide to be someone that sells the knowledge that you have or the experience that you have gotten. We at whichever measure do you get. You can decide to sell books, you can decide to sell anything. Also, you can also decide to consult. Now, this was the problem because majority of my funds were coming from contracted gigs for a specific period of time and also for monthly basis. I did not know what effect it was going to have on me whenever I lose them. I was not even paying attention to them at all. Yes. The point that I was beginning to pay attention to them, I started having January 2022. No, January 2023. Yes. And April, March, all the jobs went off. And back then, I was building Hype Empire as if Saamu will make it just a good Jare. I'm not in a haste to
you're not bothered about anything.
Yes, I'm not really in a haste to make money. Do you get? But when everything stopped, plans changed though. Guy, the energy that I'm trying to put into this business, I have to bring funds out of it. Yes. Do you get? So at that point, I learned the lesson of if I had known back then in 2022, majority of the funds that I was earning, I would have poured them back into a business like Hype Empire or Samuel Eleja as a whole. I just use my money, the chop. For real. And then I was using my money very well. It's not as if I wasted the money. I rarely go to parties. I rarely spend money on frivolous stuff. Do you get? But then I confirm. But then I could have converted the money to more business funds, like reinvested the money into more businesses.
So you even get more money.
Do you get? So that was a very huge lesson for me that I learned the hard way. Then the second part that I was going to mention was people. I mean, being very intentional about the way you build connections with people.
Yes.
When I mean building connections with people, I'm not just saying going to events anyhow, meet people, collect numbers. No. I mean being very intentional about
your
people.
Relationships with them.
The numbers matter, but the quality matters more. The numbers matters, but the quality matters more. The day that I knew that quality matters more was at a point, it was in 400 level. Of course, Samuel Eleja is a very popular guy now. Do you get what I'm saying? So there was a particular event. We wanted to get access to sponsors. And it's not as if I do not know people. But at that point, it dawned on me that, Saamu, let's be very frank about this. If I reach out to these people right now, can they help me? And I went point blank. They know me.
Were not sure meant that.
Do you get? The quality was not there. They just know me as Samuel Eleja, the energy guy. Do you get what I'm saying? So at that point, I needed to begin to change the way I approach
people.
connections with people.
Yeah.
And of course, it came at a loss, and also it has also been coming at
Again
for me. So those two tops the list.
So like, if you could go back to 2020 March, right, where you first learned marketing, got introduced to sales and every other thing.
Yep.
Yeah, what is one thing that you would have done differently, like, that could have maybe reshaped your experience as a marketing expert?
Okay. So there will be two. I'll mention two.
Okay.
But the first one that I'll mention is be very thorough with your planning, but be very fast with the execution.
That's good.
Yeah. Be thorough with planning, but be fast with execution.
Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. Do you get?
Yeah.
So it is good to plan on paper, but when you get to the field, a lot of things will change.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? The second one, Jesus, this thing just skipped through my mind. The particular one that I wanted to mention, it skipped through my mind, but the other one, there's a third one though that I wanted to mention, but I just wanted to keep it short. I hope I can remember this other one because it was really boiling in my mind to really speak it, like to say it out. So the other one is, see, no matter how good or very intelligent or very knowledgeable you are with whatever you want to do, please, your brain can only take in a little. Always try to write things down. Always try to write things down. If there were things that I would like to change,
written a lot of things down.
For real, I had so much belief in my brain, like I trust my head so much that Saamu, forget it. That idea is always going to come back. The idea is always going to come back. I will connect that with being spontaneous and always planning things.
Yeah.
Do you get? At some point, it was until last year. Thank God to, yes, I'll have to give him a shout out, Akonde Bezos. Thank God to him last year. He really helped me extensively on learning to plan things and, always putting things down. There are things that sometimes you just go inside the bedroom. The bedroom is like my home of ideas.
Every creative, the bedroom is them.
Anytime I'm taking my bait,
the restroom is hungry.
Forget that idea go. Do you get? But I always try. Sometimes I go to the bedroom with my phone purposely. Write that stuff down. Then we get back and then we get it done. So those two are the ones that I can remember right now. I hope I can remember the third one later. But those two, they're actually very amazing things that I would have loved to improve upon if I was to go back to 2020. Yes, I remember that third one now. I remember.
Don't put yourself high now.
No, I have to mention it.
Okay.
If I had known this in 2020, I would have done that. I would have built my audience around people that did not know me. Yeah. It affected me and it is still affecting me to a very strong extent, actually. I'm going to be very factual here. I would have built my audience. Okay, maybe let me be a bit more specific. I would have built
outside Futa.
70% of my audience to be outside Futa. Now, currently, it's not as if I do not have some measures of relevance outside Futa. But the problem now is that a lot of people
inside Futa
to the outside there. Futa. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give Futa 70. No, yes, 7. And I'll give the outside world there 3. Yes, that's what I would do. Why? Because if I want to look at it like Tabanibeka would adapt, to be very, very factual, it will be so easy for me to get stuff in Futa than outside there right now. It's not as if the outside there is that small. It is very wide too. Do you get? But if I had spent my 4 years on the outside world, like there are a lot of things that I would have done beyond what I do right now. I know a number of things that if I had built for an audience outside where I was comfortable, I would have been better. So if I want to advise anybody that is seeing this right now, trust me, especially if you are somebody that is building a career that is very, very individual, like a marketing guy, a sales guy, or maybe like something that has to do with your personal effort, like literally. Do you get what I'm saying now? I would advise that you build for audience outside where you are more comfortable. Trust me. If you want to ask me for the reason, try it first, or you ask people. There are a lot of reasons that I can attach to it, but trust me, you will never regret doing that.
But here's my comment on that. I'm sorry that I'm just saying my comment.
Okay, I'm with you.
But there's something that I want to say, is that I believe that building your career inside of Futa has greatly expanded you.
Now,
let me
okay, go ahead.
At the end of the day, Futa we are the ones that will leave Futa to the outside world.
Okay.
So let's just say now it's just maybe like it's a period of time. They are still getting outside. People don't really know you. Yep. But when Futa students are living outside, like your relevance grows the more they go out. So like I actually agree with you that maybe we could have built it more outside.
Okay.
But I'm saying that just because your relevance is more greater in Futa does not in any way undermine your expertise or your experience.
Okay, so there's a part of it that I did not lay too much emphasis on that I believe I should have mentioned.
Okay.
You know, the way I grew to, in quotes, stardom in Futa was very swift. 100 level, I didn't do politics. Nobody knew me. 200 level, nobody knew me. I was just having as one goddamn honorable at my faculty. But 300 level, I went to SRC. You know, at SRC level, you can only serve at one time when you get to 300 level. So back then, because of the ideology that I have about marketing, it was easy for me to leverage that platform for more popularity, for more fame, for more access to more people. Now this is what I'm saying. I did not quickly know that it was easier for me to get to that front page because of the access that I had by leveraging the student union body. Do you get what I'm trying to say now?
Yes.
So if I had paid attention to the outside world, I'm not in any way belittling the relevance of Futa in my career growth so far. I will never do that. But I'm saying that I would have seen that it will require more energy for me to be more successful in the outside world there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? If I had focused on the outside world there, like I would have seen the heavy workload. But in Futa, it was so easy. For real, I'll keep saying it. It was extremely easy. I will really say it. Maybe for anybody that does not really know the value that the student nobody holds, sure. But personally, I will say it. If I had looked outside there, I would have seen that, okay, it would require more work for me to get to the peak that I want to get to in marketing than being in a place where I could leverage a body that has the audience already. That's what I'm trying to say, effort-wise.
My next question is, we all have perspectives towards things, and like sometimes there's something they call eureka moments, right?
Okay.
That things just like, it's as if you get like an inspiration, like, oh my god. Like, I want to know, like, was that an event like that, a moment like that in your life that just changed your perspective on things generally? Like, I mean, everything just like took like a Newton and affected the way you started doing things.
All right, so the closest one that I can remember, there are a lot of them, but there is one that I can remember closely, and that was when we started the Hype Empire, the first month, January 2023. That month till now remains our second best as far as revenue is concerned. And why I would tag that moment as it was because we did a particular job for someone, and for real, I never expected that to happen. It was a paid job. We were supposed to get people to pay for an event, and voila, the way I take do till now, I cannot exactly say this was what exactly worked. I can only just try and guess. So we got 1,600 people to pay for an event in, I think it was 8 days or 9 days. 1,600 people. There was a budget for it. Those guys were ready to pay. But for real,
But even if they were ready to pay, that's the lot.
it was the only thing that I can remember that I leveraged back then. I leveraged my access to communities. Yes, Futa helped me in that. I leveraged my access to communities because it was like the job was coming for the perfect audience that I had. Or no, the job was perfect for the audience that I had. You get? So back then, of course, I was working with my team members. I was not alone. But I feel talk anywhere say I was able to really pull a large number of that result because of the community that I had access to, and I was wowed. When the client came to my DM and like, Saamu, you guys did this number, that screenshot, I know if you ever lose them. Immediately I took the screenshot and took it to my Google Drive. That Saamu, I don't know when this thing can happen because that's marketing. You never can tell.
Yeah,
just get one thing right and it will just poof.
Goes up.
Just go up. Do you get what I'm saying? So that particular point was very amazing. And yes, the other point was in 2022 when I earned, okay, there's nothing to hide about it. When I earned, I think 1.2 million naira in a month, and a larger chunk of the money came from one person. Like, okay, let me be very clear about it. So someone that has been on my timeline for years the person has never given me any job, has never given me anything. So this particular person the person got a job. The job was not in Nigeria. So they needed the services of somebody that can do social media marketing for them. And the person just referred me and pams, the job just came in. And I made a request to the person that owns that company that, okay, sir, I want to get a PC. No, the person is no longer in Nigeria.
Wow.
Actually, let me keep the person in for a particular reason. So I just asked the owner of the company that, "Sir, okay, I want to get a PC, and I hope I can be paid my monthly pay in advance." Wallahi, the person sent it in less than 2 hours. Said, "Okay, guy, you need this abi." Pam pam, sent it. Just like this. So then like this, and it happen for real. Since that time, it has been so difficult to get that level of gig. Actually, yes, I mean 2022 till now, that was so difficult to get that kind of gig anymore. But that particular moment, I felt happy because at that point, what the person needed, my level of experience was able to meet up to it. No stress. So yes, those two, I can never forget this experience in my life. I can't.
So I was like, as a graduate of, you graduated of Fish and Agriculture, right?
Okay.
And you are doing something totally different from the course. I mean, someone could say, "Oh, Samuel wasted his time in university. Could have just sat down at home, maybe took courses online, and now you have fast tracked his career, a lot of other things." I mean, like I said earlier, like I've told people before that people that, especially creatives, freelancers, people that have like careers outside of their degree, tend to say things like school is scam. I don't know your personal opinion on that. Like, what's your opinion on school is scam?
School is not scam actually. Perspective is what matters. Okay. Now, I'll start from the angle of, in my course actually that I studied so far, I already have 2 points that I want to use for the course. First of all, I will be going into agricultural extension, but not now. Not now. That is some other time. And then second, finally, I'm going to be using my name Saamu Eleja to the peak because I'm going to be starting a offline business very soon. Catfish pepper soup, soft. I'm starting very soon. Very, very soon. It might be the end of this month. Or next month. You get.
Tell them everybody.
So that part obviously solves a large chunk of why I will not say school is scam, because all the lessons that I've learned from 100 level till now will definitely be very, very effective for me in the business itself. Then the other side of it is that Saamu Eleja would not have existed without Futa. Like I said, I built a larger percentage of my relevance on Futa. So why exactly will I say school is a scam? Would I have met you? Would I have met like a lot of people that are quite important to my life right now? No. Did you get? And actually too, the fact that Futa is stress person, and Futa is actually a place where like you'll be well built. You just have to learn how to be successful with one thing. You just have to learn it. So as far as that part is concerned, it solves the riddle of school is a scam. For me, school is not.
Now, I've been meaning to ask this question for I mean that's been itching. How did the name Saamu Eleja? Because for my elder name, I was confused. Is that his real name? Who's what kind of name that children Saamu Eleja? Like, and I had to ask again. Does this selfish?
I'm just about to.
It was really comical for me, and I mean I've known you before now, but I've never gotten to hacks before. Like, how did that name come to be? And I'm sure that people are as curious as I am. Yes.
So the long form of that answer, you can check my Medium page, Saamu Eleja, but I'll just give the highlights. The first part is number one. I got the name from a former HOD from my department. It was bearing Saamu Eleja, but back then I was just beginning to pick a name for myself. I wanted the name different from Samuel or Oyebode too. Did you get? I wanted the name different. So I went to his inaugural lecture and then I picked that part from it. Okay, I noted it that okay, this name might actually be sweet. Saamu Eleja. That was like the beginning of, that was the inception of the name. So the other parts were, number one, I love indigenous branding a lot. I can boldly say that I'm one of the people that in this Akure ecosystem that actually loved indigenous branding for a start. It's not as if people were not bearing it, but I started bearing Saamu Eleja since 2019. But then the name was so clumsy, so crazy. Like, for real, a lot of people were quiet against the name. They wanted to force me to not take the name. But a lot of reasons started coming up that I will mention right now. I mentioned the indigenous branding. I have a strong belief that the branding from Nigeria is going to the ends of the earth. And I want to be part of those that will benefit from it the most. First. Then second, I just want to stay connected to my roots. Being a Yoruba boy, I have a strong belief I'm going to become $1 billion guy in the future. So I want someone to look at me and say, this guy is from the Yoruba place, and then I want that glory to come back to where I come from. Also, the fact that the name is funny. Very, very funny. I believe someone can come in contact with me and hearing my name on the first instance, you smiled. I wanted that so much.
Oh my God.
Yes, I wanted that so much.
I
And
agree.
also, like I said I wanted to do something in fisheries
My
extension.
opposite.
Do you get? So I wanted the name to also be like a reminder for me on the long run. So that's enough.
Okay. I think you already gave the advice, but I think maybe we should be clear on it. If there's anyone that is looking to enter the marketing career, okay, let's just assume it's me. I'm not taking it. I know I have strength.
You can have the strength now. Everybody do marketing
I
actually.
have strength.
Everybody.
But on the larger scale like yours, I don't have strength. Like if there's someone that is looking into entering a marketing career, what advice would you give the person? In the most
Specificity.
simple form.
Specificity is important.
Because marketing is very large.
My first statement when this thing started was marketing can get you confused.
Yes.
You have social media marketing, content marketing, influencer marketing,
Email
SEO marketing, blah blah blah. It's too plenty. So when starting, you need specificity. If it will need you to choose a mentor or to get a mentor to put you through, it is important. But if you cannot get that, please search very well.
Make your research thoroughly. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's dive in this in hope. Just tell us one thing that is funny about, not funny exactly. Just tell us one thing about you that we don't know. Please don't say you are single.
Obviously, I'm single. That's not the funny thing about me. Actually, that cannot be. Anybody can be single now. That cannot be. So the funny part is, Eleja means fish now.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't say you're married to fish.
I cannot eat fish.
Crazy. But then again,
the only fish that I can now eat
is catfish.
It's catfish.
Yeah.
If I attempt to eat the rest, I'll vomit.
I can't eat fish. That's why you get boiled. I can't eat fish. You go, you're weird. You're very weird. You're weird. You go, you're weird.
So that's that.
So if you go back in time and you are meeting Samuel Eleja 100 level, is in front of you. You have just.
I've been making no day in front of you.
And you have 15 minutes with Samuel Eleja 100 level. What advice did you give it to him? Like, what advice, would you give to him?
Number one, no chase woman. Yes, I went to a boys only school in secondary school.
Oh my gosh.
So it fucked with me. For real. Like, it fucked with me.
So when you came to school, you just had to be a woman. Just for me.
No. I was so interested in one woman, and this lady frustrated my life. Not like the frustration was so crazy that she was enjoying it. Me, I was the one feeling the pain. Almost, we can just put that up on one side. Okay. That one would be the first one. Then second also, what would that be? Second, I would have reduced the way I was addicted to, okay, this might not be so positive for some people, but I reduced the way I was so addicted to some of my personal beliefs, particularly religious. Yes, I would have reduced some of it actually. Because
let me put it better.
Okay.
You would have told your better self to not be narrow-minded.
Thank you. I would have said that. I would have exposed myself. That's the right word.
Yeah.
I would have exposed
allowed
myself.
yourself to be open-minded.
I would have exposed myself. I think, let me stop on those two, because other ones, I believe I took the right step, and then, of course, I would have just doubled down on the stuff that I was doing. So, yes, that's enough. So
now, to my next question. Don't be flustered. I very much like this question because I was very moved when you posted it. I know that you know where I'm going.
I saw it coming.
Yes, of course you saw it coming.
I saw it coming.
Of course. If I am the host of this thing, you know you have seen it coming. Because I was very inactive on X. For that particular day. No way. No. And no, don't laugh. Because, I mean, when I saw that post, 80% of ladies in Futa don't know book, and actually they help them. No,
let me say it the way it was. 80% of ladies in Futa are dull.
Okay.
That was what I said.
Dull. Don't know book. Different. Okay. Don't even mean that one until lock only one meal. When I saw that post, I was confused for a moment. Why? The person that posted it. I was very much confused. Then again, my head rebooted. Wait, this MF actually posted. Oh my gosh. And I'm sure that you remember that I dragged.
Yes, I remember.
My thoughts always like just scrolling, doing stuff. But that day, I tweeted so much in one morning Even my WhatsApp. And then you came back with one, allow me to say, very insincere apology. Oh my God. I don't know how to do an apology, Paul. Whenever you have seen this video, thank you very much. If this apology was from 30TP, say, excuse me, I made the wrong post on Twitter. Episode of apology. No, but of course, I know you regret it. I don't regret it.
I definitely did.
Better. If I regret it, then we are.
I'm still waiting for your question so that I can allow you to talk.
Oh. See, when I want to talk, you should talk to your Ifu and your Edo. Because this video is going to places. So my Lord, she's like, hey. I'll be here for you. So my question is, what did you do that manifest? Because it was in the morning.
Yes.
It was in the morning.
Yes.
Because I want to know if that one inspired. See, I don't want to believe that maybe a lady annoyed you, or maybe you guys want to test your department and maybe only one lady. I believe ladies cause the highest. What I want to know is that what inspired that arrant. I don't have to say nonsense. Of course, it's nonsense. I don't know what inspired it. Please, this is your another chance to defend yourself and want yourself free of your sins. Yeah.
You can't be like, say, they put fire on my hand. Okay, so the first thing about that event was it would be so difficult for anybody to believe me that that post was just spontaneous. Spontaneous as in I was conversing with my guys in front of my lodge. So when I saw that post from Futa bro made that post that day, that what opinion of yours about Futa can get you in this condition? You know that guy with sword now on his neck.
Yeah.
So I saw it at first. I ignored it. I can remember the whole scenario. I ignored it. I left my phone. Then I came back. The same post because it was the last post that I engaged. So it brought up on my line, and you wouldn't believe that it was 30 minutes after I dropped that post that I knew what I posted. It would be so difficult to believe. Meaning that there was a scenario that happened some couple of days, weeks before then that I will not put life on here. So it was part of what sponsored that post in my head, but truly, the natural me would not make that post as I did because with my extensive knowledge in public relations and promotions, I definitely would not make that error.
No.
I wouldn't.
Permit me.
Okay.
Permit me.
Okay.
Back on that question what I want to ask.
Okay, add to it. I'm with you.
Is that you just said that your PR self will not make that post. Does that mean that your innate self acknowledge that?
Okay, now.
No, yes or no?
No, my innate self does not. Because why? That fact was obviously wrong. When I'm talking about the fact that was a mistake.
It's not a fact, it was a thought.
Okay. Let's keep it there. It was a thought. So the idea was, when I made the post, I just dropped my phone and I got a call. After Saamu, waiting this up. Go check this thing. I just picked my phone. This thing. I responded to one person that, okay, Saamu, this was what I was trying to say, which was very, very stupid because...
Yeah, you're trying to defend yourself on that post.
That singular comment, when I dropped that singular comment, and someone said, Saamu, don't fold though. Immediately I just dropped it.
Oh my gosh, I love that comment.
Just see, immediately I dropped my phone because there's something called crisis management when you are learning PR. You have to understand that when there's a situation that is kind of growing out of what you do not exactly plan for, you have to sit for a while, read the room, then do the necessary. So you said I went to consult ChatGPT. I lie, it is still on my notes. I did not attempt ChatGPT because I understand that the best thing to do at that point, learning from big brands obviously, the first thing was to pacify the people that you obviously have offended. It was a very huge wrong. It was a mistake. The fact itself was not exactly a true fact.
A thought. It was a thought.
Okay, let's keep it as a thought.
Yes.
If you like say...
It's not a fact.
Okay, so let's keep it at that point. It was wrong. I dropped the apology and, almost immediately as I posted that apology, I got a call from the school management, obviously. Yes, I was called.
Yes. We are weird about it now.
Yes, I was called. And to be very frank, the weirdest part that was not actually very weird to me was that it was a physical report from someone. Someone literally printed the tweet, took it down there, and then I was called. God. Yes, of course, I was called. Wow. But then I was told to explain the whole scenario and I did not remove a single fact from it. I did that and then I was asked to, put it down in writing that, okay, this was what exactly happened. And I was left out. But, there are some things that happened after that time that would obviously be a conversation behind the camera. But trust me, I suffered for it till I finished Futa. Yes, I suffered for it. I mean,
That
I
was a
literally did.
that was a grievous.
I
mean,
literally
that was a
did.
grievous mistake.
It was a very grievous mistake because, for real, like, okay, at that point, someone came into my DM to drop a message. A very prominent person in Nigeria actually came into my DM. One of these very like big PR guys. I did not know the way the person saw the message quickly. So the person came to my DM and said, "Saamu, I don't know you from anywhere, but from what you had on your profile, this can dent your brand forever." Yeah, the person said it.
I mean,
and
told you that this post they screenshotted it and they.
And the crazy part of it is that actually right now, I'm so strongly, I believe that some people would definitely not forgive me yet of whatever happened back then, but I'm still throwing it to the air. You can forgive me for that point, but God sees my heart that it was spontaneous one, and I tried as much as possible to just give my public apology for it. I tried, but then...
I'm not going to lie. Is that day, you did not just reply one person, Sam. You replied me too.
I replied you?
Yes.
Okay.
You replied a lot of people, and you were so sarcastic, which makes your spontaneous tweet unbelievable in a way. I'm not saying you're lying.
Can I depart to it?
I'm not saying you're lying.
Okay.
I'm just saying from my point of view.
I'm with you. You can continue.
Allow me to land. That, like a lot of people that you replied, which was making. Did I don't make that post?
Okay.
And you folded immediately. Somebody said, "Don't fold." You did not actually fold immediately.
Yes, of course. It
was
up to 40 something minutes. Because I remember.
But I think when you realize that, no. See, for me, I felt like Saamu had this idea in his head. It's not spontaneous.
Okay. There's a notion that I want to put across to you.
Maybe now, because you are speaking strictly, maybe now I don't have that notion anymore.
Okay.
And there's also one thing that somebody said later the day, that people make mistakes and that we should let it go.
Yep. I think I know who
that
tweet.
And in my head I was like, everybody makes mistakes. For this particular mistake, nah. I don't make mistakes like this. But then, I mean, I'm a Christian, and allow me to follow the kind of sins I've done, and God has graciously forgiven me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not saying on behalf of anybody, on behalf of myself, as a Futa female, they are almost free to go. What I want to say, add to it.
The only thing that I will just add to that point is that whole scenario, I would just say, one of my biggest lessons that I learned last year from that experience, my biggest lesson that I learned last year was that as much as possible, whenever you're trying to build a career, always understand the risk that are attached to it. When I mean risk that are attached to it, you mentioned something about the fact that post was not spontaneous. Like I said earlier, it is so difficult to believe that post was not spontaneous. Why? I mentioned it, that it was so difficult. I just did not say the reasons why. Because of those responses. Now, when I said you should obviously take note of the things that you have to consider before building a career, is that at that particular point in time, the responses that was coming from me, like you said, it was coming from Saamu wanting to now cruise with whatever was in his head. Let me not coin this too much, so it won't look like this guy wants to just panabit everything.
You want panabit down?
Actually, I'm not.
You want panabit down?
I know they do. I'm telling you that if I had considered the fact that Samuel Eleja was someone that was on the outside, wallahi, I would not drop a single response to that post.
But you did.
Obviously, I did.
Sorry.
Let's end it up there.
I'm very sorry. I still have screenshot of that thing, sir.
Of course, I personally still have it too.
I still have screenshot of it.
I have to keep it for some reasons.
Okay. But yes, another opinion that I would like to drop is that public people, anything you say,
be careful.
Even anything you would think sometimes will be used against you.
Just be careful. That's what I'm saying.
So I was saying, like indirectly concluded upon this marathon, I did not know, but I later learned that you were a huge part of it. And I mean, but the idea itself is crazy. You want to teach maths? Maths is the bane of my existence. If you want to make me look stupid, feel stupid, bring mathematics. That is the easiest thing for you. I'm
there because I know how to be mathematics.
So see, in fact,
save money.
If they give me maths as a course, I would gladly drop out. My parents will not even try to convince me. That's how everybody in the house knows that. Semiloore.
I can't take it.
So like, the fact that I wanted to do it alone was really crazy. So and the fact that there were people that actively sponsored this idea for me was even more crazier than even the guy that wanted to do it. And I found out that you were one of them. I wanted to have What made you feel like, okay, this idea is crazy, but I want to be crazier?
Okay. So I know the person behind the idea, not too deeply. I knew him from my fellowship, CSCF. I know him, and I know what he can do. That guy is very brilliant. He's very intelligent.
I mean,
and
his name is genius.
For real.
Like, how?
That guy is so good at what he does, actually. The sole reason why I came on board as a sponsor for the event was because I wanted the event to be a leverage for him to whichever greatness he's going to get to in life. Obviously, I came in very late. Anybody that is in PR would notice. I came in very late. A good portion of the planning was not really proper. We just have to, use bass boost, just push a lot of things. So if the planning were there, my intention would have been achieved. But basically, the basic reason why I got into it was because I wanted that event to be a leverage for him to build greatness.
Yeah. I mean, he's basically really great now.
I'm hoping to see him to grow bigger, actually, for real.
That's huge. I mean, wow. So, like, now to the last part, which is the second form part, is they're going to tell us 3 truths and 1 lie.
3 truths.
Up to the Futa community to find out which is a lie.
Now that weird part, now for those mentioned now. 3 truths, 1 lie. Okay. Yes. So, I hate brown color.
You're obviously wearing brown, so do it.
The one where I do say I don't feel remember. I'm trying to remember.
You're wearing brown, so you obviously do it brown.
Okay.
And that is the truth. I mean,
you will be surprised to see.
Oh.
So I hate brown color. I love beans.
Of course you do.
I've been to 10 states in Nigeria. And what else can I say? I love sports.
Lol.
Let's just keep it there.
Wait. The first one is what?
I hate brown.
Oh, that's
I don't eat beans.
Brown. You like beans. It runs.
I've been to 10 states in Nigeria.
Yes, you have.
And the last one.
Yes.
I love sports.
You run, so you love sport, of course.
So think about it.
I mean, Agbalawa.
Let's run from
there.
So
yeah. No, I'm not trying to be running with you guys. Emma Kwame, 6 kilometers, 12 time. What we run on myself, we will be bones.
I never turn bone now.
Me not like this. My mind's not complaining.
Oof.
So the final question is for the Futa community, Futa book community that has been watching you. I wanted to hear about you. What do you have to say to them? Please face the camera and drop your hand.
Okay. Anybody won't give up, then they tell them, right, I don't turn 2-5 pack Congo. If you like give up, now you sabi. So the highest that I will give, please be very intentional with your choices. Be intentional with your choices, career that you want to build, relationship that you want to have with people, romance or business. Be very intentional. And finally, please, at the use God beg you, like at the use God self, they beg you, please don't joke with the God part of your life. I will end it with that. There are things that your intelligence can never carry. You just find peace in God. I'm telling you. I will end it there.
Thank you very much, Samuel Eleja, for having us. I mean, that was a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed me dragging in, because I enjoyed that part.
You cooked me.
That was my favorite part of the whole thing. And I believe that by now you guys are having insights into, someone said, a previous interviewee said that, being a CEO on paper is so nice. It's so nice. It looks nice, but in reality, there's a lot of underground things that are going on you don't know about.
It's a different ball.
And for every career that goes like the same, they come online, they post about their success, and like, oh my God, I'm the part of this. But underground, there's a lot of work. So as students, we're created Nigerian students, right? So as much as we are great students, in every of our endeavors, yeah. Let's try to be intentional about everything that we're doing. And if you want to see more dragging, I cannot assure you that the person we are bringing, we won't drag the person. Don't forget to subscribe, So like, comment, please. Appreciate your faves. They're not my faves, but allow, come. Appreciate your faves. So I mean, and even some of my face. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And please feel free to repost. Not feel free. I mean, I expect that you post the links and the videos on your WhatsApp status, on your Instagram, on your Snap, and everywhere else. And adios. Au revoir. Bye.